Pride. Said that she loved him so. Turn around and let him go. What is going on, YouTube? It is Craig Harris, the Pope of Xbox, the Ayatollah of information, the aggregate of agitation. What is going on, people? It is November 1st. We are like 6 days away, and I had to look at the calendar here, from the release of the Xbox X. For some, and for others, they may have already gotten a package in the mail. There's been several unboxings online, and congratulations to the people that got it. And where it's going, got a nice little information line here, as it is what it is today, people. It just is what it is. So, and what it is 3 to 4 days ago, and I didn't recognize this. I've been at work, and enjoyed PlayStation Paris Gaming Week. Everybody should have. You're a gamer, you enjoyed the games, and we'll get more into that on why there's so much anger and angst in the Xbox community. It's not anger, it's more angst in it. But we'll drop this right now. As we know, we're waiting on this 1080p 60 mode on Assassin's Creed. This, it's not available now, and they announced a big update 72 hours ago, and it got by me. Let me keep that 100%. It got by me, and it's my own fault. I didn't really look at it, and so I mean, there has been a huge update announcement for Assassin's Creed Origins, the one that's out now, and so let's go ahead and this is old news. I mean, let me make sure this is, but I did not, I didn't see this, and so I apologize because we would have brought this up the other day, and but this got by a lot of us. So we're going to go ahead and announcement on Assassin's Creed, and some people are going to be vindicated. Let me make this clear: there's going to be some vindication with this announcement. And there's a lot of people who are going to be taking a victory lap, and there's going to be a lot of people, getting their swerve on, as I like to say back, in my time, getting your dance on, getting your swerve on. What do the kids call it now? The Dougie or the Doogie, whatever it's called. So let's give credit where credit is due. So I'm going to share this screen here. I'm hoping you guys can see this screen. So this is the big update so far with Assassin's Creed. This is from the developer. This is N4G. Now, again, this was 3 days ago, 72 hours ago, folks. This kind of snuck itself in, So Assassin's Creed Origins is going to have HDR support coming to both PS4 Pro and Xbox One X this November. This is a huge announcement from the developer. Okay. Big news for all the people who, because the developer did say at E3 that this game was going. The game is stunning. I mean, it is absolutely stunning, ladies and gentlemen. I've been lucky enough. I played it. I did some screenshots of it and shared it online. I did. I streamed it about a week ago, last Friday, I believe. I streamed it. A couple people. There were a handful of people that watched. Shout out to all you guys that watched. But you saw the game itself. And again, it's buffering on YouTube, and it's a gorgeous game. Egyptian's a little too light-skinned for me, but because they didn't look like that back in those days. But all right, it's cool. It's still a good game. It's intuitive. I'm still getting used to the combat system. That's what I do not like about it so far. The combat system to me is trash. But that's to me. I'll get better at it. I'm not good at it. So, and shout out to everybody who watched the Hellblade stream too, because that's real frustration, folks. That's not manufactured frustration. Last night, excuse me, and shout out to everybody. Shout out to Corey Massey and Mark Camacho and all those guys. Shout out to Mark. It's just the thing with the steps last night. How do you even know that the steps are not in alignment. There's like no clue. There's nothing there. And if you say the voices tell you, the voices are telling you a bunch of things. Okay, that's crazy. So that's real frustration. I just want people to know I'm not manufacturing that. When I'm getting upset playing that, I'm really starting to get upset. You saw how calm I was when I was in combat. I really enjoyed that. The combat of the game is really good. It's really surprised me. Shout out to those developers who did that, and shout out to Anthony Speed for the PayPal donation. So big shout out to him. Hopefully everybody's enjoying that. I'll get back on that here. And we, girlfriend time, we're going to watch the Thor movie, the Justice League movie, and we got to watch Stranger Things. Also, if you all didn't know this month, those 3 things are coming out. Plus The Punisher, I think, comes out as well on Netflix. So if y'all want to check that out. All right. But so Assassin's Creed Origins is getting HDR support this November. I think this is great news for everybody. This is big news. The developer has delivered. They said at E3 they were going to deliver HDR, which, again, if your TV has HDR, it will really look stunning. Now the nose hair on your Egyptian will look good. It'll look a little bit better on the X, because the X is going to deploy a 4K texture overlay. News for the people buying that are into that type of stuff. Like a friend of mine said, he's playing that. Well, he's planning on, I think, getting that on a PC. He said probably next month in November. So, or no, it's November now. I'm sorry, but he's going to get it this month, I think, or in December. So, because he does not understand, all you folks that are into the whole 4K thing, why you all just won't get PCs and then you ain't got to worry about it. Like shout out to Dark Cloud. Dark Cloud clearly said, "Hey, look, you people that are going on this thing about 4K should be playing on PC." But it is what it is. But this is big news. This is a big announcement. This is HDR support coming. This is why I said a little bit more. Now the Xbox X is more powerful and it should do more. Let me make that clear. The comparison of Xbox X to Pro, in my opinion, is silly, because the Xbox X, when they sat down to really design Xbox X, shout out to Mike at Microsoft for the information. They really sat down to improve on what the Pro was going to be able to do. Okay, that's what they really wanted to do. So, and they were, one of the things they were able to do, both of them bring enhancements and stuff like that. But overall, that's about the only thing they do about the same, and play games, But overall, enhanced games are what PlayStation, I think, has over 200, 250, something like that. And Xbox has 100, 150. And the PlayStation should have more because it's been on station for 1 year, roughly. I think it's 1 year. I think it's 1 year next Sunday, or next Saturday, something like that. So the PlayStation should have more enhancements, because, more enhanced games, I should say, because it's been on station longer. But anyway, HDR, this is big news for everybody. So here we go. This is the big news, and the people that predicted HDR, I think the developers said they were aiming for an HDR update. They're holding the HDR update because of their thing with Microsoft. They have a marketing deal with Microsoft, so they're going to make sure that Microsoft gets it at the exact same time. But shout out to Ubi. I played the game for a few hours. It's really a fun game. Story's really engrossing. Scenery's really good. Once you get to the pyramids, though, let me know if the 3 Egyptian pyramids, which includes the Great Pyramid, look up at the sky at night and see if you can see Orion's belt. I've not been able to get to that part yet, and I'm no spoiler. I just want to know that, because I think that'd be pretty neat if it does. But nevertheless, Assassin's Creed Origins HDR, a little bit more, because they're both getting it, okay? A little bit more. So let's go ahead and bring that screen back there. Fantastic news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited about it. Let's Google some more information for Xbox. Which again, there's some people that already got their Xbox. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And there's some people that, you know, are on the fence about it. And there's some people that canceled. Shout out to J-Dub City. He told it to go kick some rocks. So anybody who wants the Scorpio model, because remember, people told you guys that those were sold out. They're not sold out. They got plenty. If you still want one, you can still get one, okay? Just so you know, okay? You can still get one. Just have to do, and shout out to Matt's Gaming, because he put a tweet out a few days ago that told you guys the sites to go to. I think it was Amazon US and Amazon UK, maybe. One of those two or both, okay, are available. But let's go to this. We're going to go to the multiplayer game of PUBG, which, again, PUBG is not a game. It is a mod of a type of game. So that's what a PUBG is, okay? That's what a PUBG is. It's a mod of a type of game, which is cool, okay? But we're going to go ahead and let's see here. PUBG Xbox release day. Because this is big news too, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe this came out. Yeah, this is so Players Unknown. All right, Players Unknown Battleground is let me go ahead and just put this up. This is out of PC Gamer, okay? Let's see here. So let me go, let's see here. I need to go here. I need to go there. Go and screen share and click it. Okay. So hopefully you all can see this. This is out of PC Gamer. This is 21 hours ago. As you can see here, this is 21 hours ago. West Finland and Tyler Wilde. Players Unknown Battleground is leaving early access in December. So at Paris Games Week, again, Microsoft was at Paris Games Week. It was planned. I don't want anybody to say they just kind of deboed in. It was planned. We're still waiting on the Guerrilla, well, not a Guerrilla screening. That's what we call it in the movie thing. We're waiting on the Guerrilla press conference that Microsoft is supposed to have. I was told on the multiplayer podcast that we're not allowed to say Microsoft has nothing scheduled, even though they got nothing scheduled. It's like, you know, you can't. It's like what's that? The Matrix movie when the child told Neo there is no spoon, even though the spoon was right there in front of him. We're gonna get more into that though, because my God, I can't stand stupid effing people. But yeah. But all right, but back to the news. At Paris Games Week today, now this is yesterday, I believe. The Players Unknown Battlegrounds announced it's leaving early access this December, late December to be more precise. So the release looks like it will closely follow the launch of Xbox One version of the PUBG on December 12th, which will include the much anticipated vaulting system that's coming to PC test servers. Okay, that vaulting system, I have no idea what that means. You know, so it's a PUBG though. So I don't know if that's something authentic to PUBG. I don't know if they mean vaulting by climbing, scaling, whatever you want to call it. So so it says in addition to announcing Xbox XGP launch date on December 12th, we also shared the exciting news that we're on track to launch 1.0 for the PC version. So I guess they're getting some type of test version. So, but anyway, the PUBG game is phenomenal. So how Eve player is funding his spaceship business by making amateur porn. Oh my God. I mean, you know you got to have a crazy game when you got people making porn just to play it. My God. People are nuts around here. So good news, okay? This is a big multi-plat release for Microsoft. Again, this game is very successful on PC. We'll have to see if they can repeat it over at Microsoft. And of course, you do know that they're working on getting a mouse and keyboard release. So that's good news. If that's something that you want to play, you know, this is a multi-plat game. So again, Microsoft is concentrating on multi-plats. We will get more into that, you know, as as I get into the podcast on what they're going to do versus anything else. So, but yeah, this is great news. And so, you know, this is all good. This is all good for everybody here. So look, you got HDR for Assassin's Creed, a big multi-plat game that everybody can play. Like I said, multi-plat is like bragging about multi-plats is like a man bragging about, like I said, walking into a bar with a woman and everybody else had a turn with her. She's with you now, not that big a deal. But nevertheless, and then this game here, of course, is a big PC game. It's being ported over, so this is great news. And it's coming to the PlayStation as well. So it is what it is. Don't know when, but it'll get over there eventually, like everything does. So, but this is great news. So it says new desert map will be included. So it's great news. You know, is what I like to call it. So again, great news here for the people that plan on playing battles, unknown battle rounds. So, you know, because we have to wait and see if the people go out and buy it. So, or is this just something they want to be able to say they have? Because that's what I think it's going to be. But nevertheless, I'm not going to buy it. So shout out to the people that do buy it, and hopefully you enjoy it. So let's skip my darling. We're going to move on over here to the Metal Gear Pro patch. Let's see here. Because it's got my two favorite numbers, 1440p 60. So that's N4G as well. Damn, that's in Russian. Okay, here we go. We'll use this one. We'll just use N4G. They seem to be cranking it out here. Well, damn. Well, that's too much of a pain in the ass there. So, yeah, that's way too much. So, all right, let's screen share this here. Still going to be with N4G, people. Still with N4G. Hang with me. Hang with me. You know, my PC skills aren't that sharp. Here, okay. So this is a pro patch of a game. This is a patch of a game that came out, I got like 2 years ago. Metal Gear. Big Boss himself. Big Boss is running 1440p 60, folks. My two favorite numbers, 1440p and 60 frames per second. What more can you ask for? Okay. 1440p 60 is also on Wolfenstein on Pro, Enhanced, whatever you want to call it. So you know, this is good for. Then the game is 2 years old. The game was already rendering at 1080p 60. So, but there's no other enhancement. So there's no texture overlay. But again, you were playing in the desert, so you know, I don't know how big a deal that is for people. And again, and this game is free. Let me make this clear. If you have PSN, this is one of the free games. And I don't know, this is November. So this is a free game last month. Okay, let me make that clear. It's a free game last month. So let me take a swig. So if you want to go back and revisit good old-fashioned Revolver Ocelot and that crazy Psycho Manus, whatever his name was, you want to go back and play, and Quiet, who's one of my favorite characters this gen, Quiet, that's her name, the sniper, with Big Boss. It's go ahead. I mean, it's I haven't played this. No, I have played this. And it looks a little bit better, a little bit more. Okay, 1440p, a little bit more than 1080p. You know, still runs at 60, smooth frame rate. Fun to play still. But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So, so hopefully you enjoy it. If you want to go back 2 years, I guess, and play a 2-year-old game, there's people that will. There's people who don't care. You know, so I assume they'll be getting a patch for the Xbox as well. I assume that. I got nothing in front of me, but I'll get into how we source out of comic books, out of Hey, hold on, let me turn that off. Okay. There's a different way we source information. All right, there's a different way we source information out of movies than we do on video games. So, and we source differently. So, but it's nevertheless, if you want this, it's available. Okay. So let me come back into the chat real quick because that's all the screen sharing I got. Didn't do too bad for an old man. Not bad. Give an old man some credit. So my screen sharing skills were okay. So, but those are big. That's big news, ladies and gentlemen. HDR for for Assassin's Creed. Big announcement from the developer was HDR. So we're still waiting on the 1080p 60 mode. So I'm hoping that comes as well. You know, for the people who want to play it 1080p 60. I've said before we're already playing. Metal Gear was already 1080p 60 2 years ago. But people still want to play it 1080p 60, and they're going to let Assassin's Creed do that. That's fine. I mean, that's great news again. It's good old-fashioned gaming news today, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing major. No hearts to break. No coons to stomp this time. Well, not yet, you know. So I'm trying to come back into the chat room. So and then we'll get, because everything else is because I could not. Somebody sent me the article on somebody sent me the article about Spider-Man. Okay, all right. So, but this is good news, folks. I mean, I'm excited. I said the Xbox X box is nicer than the PlayStation box. 4K as well. And shout out to Guardian Legends because he exposed me earlier today. He was saying that the birds on the birds on Uncharted 4 look better than the birds on Assassin's Creed, and so far he's right. Game is great. It's great forever. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Like I said, if you want to go back and play, you can. I no argument for me. You know, so yeah, like I said, one of my favorite game series is the Mass Effect 3 games. So yeah, no argument on me on that one. So, you know, yeah, I'm doing well. So, man, y'all are silly. Y'all are silly. Metal Gear Survive is going to suck. It probably will. So, I mean, I don't even really know what that's about. So, Spartan God saying that what the PUBG isn't fun. Fortnite got boring. Both are overrated. So, well, I mean, hopefully if there's more people playing, it won't be that way. You know, you got to think positive now. Let's think positive. So, yeah, I don't know what, you know, I don't know. No. PUBG is name of game. It's acronym for, yeah, but it's a mode of other games. I didn't know One Stop was debating. So, oh, what's up, One Stop? I didn't know you were here, bro. But I think this is great news. I mean, we got, man, but big shout out to One Stop if you're still in that chat, bro. Like I said, I wouldn't be online without One Stop and Bear Hugger of that dream team putting it out there the way they were. The courage to go and get a microphone and serious stuff. You talk about somebody struggling with the software. I didn't know what to use, how to use it. But I got it to work, plugged in the right stuff, and everything seems to be working okay so far. So yeah, it's humor. I just came back into the chat. So I keep on saying no. In PUBG, the truth is, yeah, PUBG, all right, the mode is battle. Yeah, that's the battle mode of other games. Yeah, he just calls it PUBG, I guess, or I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not buying it. I just want people to enjoy it that are buying it. All right. So apparently it's really successful on PC. That's good. And that's fine. Hopefully the Xbox guys that buy the game, that's, you know, all I'm wanting. So, but what's going on, 809? So yeah, Spider-Man, apparently, let's go to play Paris Game Week. Two things that came out of that I've noticed as far as the games are concerned. IP, Microsoft can't touch. They can't touch the first party IP. I mean, I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm not laughing. I'm being serious, okay? As Pope of Xbox, to sit up there and have to tell the Xbox community, you're going to have to let the first party stuff go, okay? It's not that Microsoft doesn't have first party games. If you're going to go into the Microsoft ecosystem, you need to understand you're not going to get games like you saw, okay? Get something similar down the road, but those games, that lineup was strong. I mean, this, you know, but back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man on the PS4 that you saw, that was actually on a Pro. That was in-game footage. Now, there's a lot of there's QTEs, quick time events in there, and it looks like it's going to be stunning. From what we've seen, the only time we've seen combat, the only time we've really seen combat and how it plays, so to speak, early build was at E3. What I am hoping for is that, because people say, well, what are they going to show at PSX? Hopefully they show more combat, okay? You know, hopefully they show more combat. Even with God of War, that was only like 35 or 40 seconds, and it showed a lot. I mean, they squares a lot in that trailer, okay? But I need to see a little bit more before I make a purchase of God of War. I mean, it looks, that game has looked the best, better each time they've shown it. Each time they've shown it. So yeah, we're going to get into that following. I promise you, with the direction, and we're going to get into that. I promise you, because once you hear what I got to say today, you're going to know why Porter Rock wins debate after debate. And not Porter Rock doesn't win debates. These guys are wetting their pants. But there's a reason why that's happening. So shout out to Porter Rock. All right. But there's something that, and whether it's Porter Rock, whether it's Bar, whether it's Jay Barry, there's a reason why these guys are over there destroying the Xbox people. Okay, that's not, there's something going on that the Xbox community, and I'm talking about the 5%ers, okay? I'm not talking about the Xbox guys that are just like a one-stop who just goes out, buys the Xbox, goes home, plugs it up, plays his games, okay? That's what the Xbox community does, okay? That's what I do. Shout out to Randall Thor. That's what he does. Shout out to my boy Doug E. Ness on the Xbox. That's what he does, okay? But there's a reason why, but we'll get to it. But apparently the Spider-Man game was running on the Pro engine. So we'll have to wait and see. The Last of Us, I think somebody at Sony was quoted as saying, with the Last of Us footage and the footage that they showed of Detroit Become Human, he says Sony is making games. He says Sony's games are made by adults for adults. That's what I forgot I can't remember who said it. It was like that's a kind of a direct quote. So that's going. Like I said, the Last of Us 2 trailer was brutal. It was brutal. Now, if you go back to the first trailer had that girl playing the guitar, and there were dead bodies laying around. Two, you just didn't see what happened before them. So it's cool. I mean, they really did a good job. So, and the Sony first party IP is so let me move into that. Well, first let me do the comic v gamers. Okay. The comic book community, and I did leave a link in the description here. I couldn't find it because I didn't know if it would give me a copyright strike. But really go check out, and this check out at some point, comic book reaction, the comic book people are having to Spider-Man versus, say, the gaming community. There are a lot of, oh, that's only on PlayStation. Because they're concerned about the canon of the story, who these people are. Are they going to be part of Spider-Man as far as Marvel in the movies? In the movies, let me make that clear. So, but the way we source our information in the game is different than the way you guys source information in the gaming community. I'll give you a quick example. Not even Thor Ragnarok. That's a bad example. Okay. Captain Marvel with Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. We being the people that follow the movies, that follow different source threads in the movies, okay? Person had that part in February, okay, of this year. But there was no official announcement yet. It's like, that's why they say it's the worst kept secret. So it wasn't official till Brie Larson put on Instagram, and she didn't say, oh, I'm playing Captain Marvel. How she announced it was cool. She took a picture of her table and a comic book, and the comic book was Captain Marvel. So I don't know if Porter Rock was in a debate yesterday. So Porter Rock was in a debate yesterday. Oh wow! All right. Well, shout out to them. I'm sure he did fine. So I'm sure he did fine. But we'll get into why he and all these other guys do so well. There's actually something happening a lot of people don't recognize. But I'll get into it. It's no diss on the people that do it, because it's something. It's a preparation that they have. So in the comic book community, or comics and movies and stuff like that, that's the way we source our information. We use Talk, which is now Collider. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Got exposed. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right. So in tomorrow. So for whoever, just keep it gaming. Man, what was I saying? Shit. All right. So we use sources like, like I said, AMC Movie News, which is now Collider Movie News. And we use Popcorn Movie Talk. Again, who are these people? They are actual sub-sites of movies. They're reporters, okay? They are going to report things like, they reported that Lex Luthor's character, that was played by Jesse Eisenberg, has pretty much been cut out, okay, of the new Justice League movie. Doesn't mean he won't be in it somewhat, but he got cut out, cut down, however you want to put it. That before anything had come out. The studio hadn't even announced that yet, but they reported it. They'll just say sources say. They're not going to name their sources, okay? But their sources have been pretty regular, okay? Their sources have been pretty regular. So, yeah, Porter Rock putting in work. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he does. So, but that's the way we source it. The gamers, you guys think everything's available right there at your fingertips, and I get that. I totally understand that. So I totally get that. So that's a different way of sourcing. But the comic book people, again, they're not looking towards counts. They're not looking at anything else but where the game is going to be played at, and like what builds, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. So the Spider-Man game, that really blew them away. They're really excited about the Spider-Man game. So, but we'll move on. Let's move into the Xbox direction, and we'll move into the debates and all that kind of stuff, because I really think people got to really try to understand this. And I'm not saying, and I'm not being funny. I got a serious face. I'm using my serious voice. So Xbox direction. People, I think Fall of Duty just put in the chat, shout out to Fall of Duty, said Xbox community's hating on Spider-Man. It's not, okay, here's why though, here's why. The direction of Xbox is something that they don't know, okay? It's not like Xbox has come out, okay? Xbox has not come out and said, here's our direction 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now, okay? And they're not going to do that. You can look at what they're doing, okay? You can look at what they're doing in the past and what they've done in the last 30 months to see what they're going to do in the next, 36 months. And they're going to go to a much more service-based type of gaming. They're going to be almost a gaming service, okay? They're going to require people to pay access for their games. Okay, they're also going more towards digital. So any of you guys that they're going to be in the Xbox ecosystem, make sure if you get 500 gigs or whatever, 1 terabyte, get extra storage wherever you need to go. Okay, whatever unit you want to use, get extra storage because your games, because of the 4K textures, you're going to eat up a lot of space. Okay, you're going to eat up a lot of space on these drives. So to the point where you're not going to have a lot of room to put your games. And maybe, I think people are saying they can only put maybe 4 games. I'm not sure how the terabyte conversion is for these games that are coming out, like a Gears and Forza, stuff like that. So, but the average is going to be like 85 gigs, average. Okay, now that may be less, it may be more. So, but the direction for them is what's really upset them. See, Sony's press conference shows you a clear direction on what they're going to do, next year. Next year. We already know what's coming next year. Spider-Man's coming, okay? We already know Detroit Become Human. We know this is coming, okay? The big multi-plat that will be released is going to be I guess it's going to be Red Dead 2 or something like that. So, so it's we already know, like if you're in the PlayStation community, I'm in both, but if you're in the PlayStation community, we already know what to expect down the road. Okay. So when Sony comes out, and this is a shout out to my man, again, Dougie Ness, he said it. He asked me, why does Sony say it's the best place to play? That's a moniker. That's like Fox News saying fair and balanced. Here's what they mean. Here's what Sony means by best place to play. Not only are you going to play multi-plat games, you can play on both Xbox and Sony. And yes, the Xbox system is going to look a little more better. It's more powerful, okay, coming out a year later. But you will have access to those games, access to a library that nobody else has access to. Now, more games is better for the gamers, okay? And, I'll move now. Now, there's no critical thinking in the Xbox community. They will say things like, and we're going to do a critical thinking exercise. We're going to use an Xbox. I'm going to actually use something that Xbox person said. And we're going to do a critical thinking exercise. Okay. Since the lack of critical thinking in their community leads them to say Sony shows games that are 1 to 2 years out. All right. Lack of critical thinking, though. Didn't Microsoft show Halo 5 a year out? Didn't Microsoft show a Gears of War 4 trailer a year out? Nintendo did some stuff like this too. So the lack of critical thinking leads them to make statements like this. Then they get into debates. It doesn't matter who it is. People remember them saying that. And they're going to, again, and I hate to say this, they're going to sing and dance for Master. Whatever Master says to them, they're going to run with that. It's going to contradict what you do. All right, so let's do our critical thinking exercise. Porter Rock and Jay Barry, and it doesn't matter who else, always wins their debates. And not only do they win their debates, they make these guys wet their pants. Why that's happening is because Porter Rock, shout out to him, Jay Barry, shout out to him, Alex Escobar, shout out to him. They are critical thinkers. Now, what does that mean? Let's do a critical thinking exercise. There was an Xbox podcast earlier in the week or late last week that said it was something, I'm paraphrasing. This is what the title said. X makes PlayStation Pro irrelevant. All right. And you had a bunch of people on the podcast. Yeah, man, it's irrelevant. Yeah, the singing and dancing. All right. Cut to the chase. Paris Gaming Week happens. Same people on another podcast. Podcast is lack of first-party games could spell a bad year for Microsoft. Okay. That contradicts what you just said in the last podcast. But there's the lack of critical thinking. Okay, then these guys go into debates. After being on both podcasts, you can't do that. You can't do that. And when you do that, you go up against somebody who remembers, oh, didn't you just say this 3 or 4 days ago? I'm serious. I mean, think about that as a critical thinker. All right? Think about that. You're on a podcast, which everybody can eventually source, go back and hear, and they hear you saying, yeah, Xbox X makes the Pro irrelevant. Okay, fine. Let's just say that's my official statement, okay? Statement. And I say that on today's November 1st. I say November 1st, okay? I'm just using that as an example, okay? And then on November 10th, and I say, well, no, it's not. And then I go into a debate with somebody on the 12th of November. Do you not think that person has done their research on what I said? And then all of a sudden, I start wetting my pants in the debate. That's what's been happening right now. Okay, it's a lack of critical thinking. So let's do a critical thinking exercise. These are really fun to do. Okay, multiplayer podcast. You had a guy say, quote, the games on Xbox X are going to look so much better community once they see them. And I'm paraphrasing. It's been a while ago. When the PlayStation community sees them, they're not going to have a choice but to leave and go to Xbox. Okay. Statement by somebody on multiplayer podcast. Okay. That's no diss on the person. So let's use what I just said. Statement that I paraphrased as critical thinking exercise. Okay. Let's walk all the way through it. Looks so much better. People are going to leave the ecosystem. Start right there. Okay, that's what they think is going to happen. Everything on it being more powerful. That's the first mistake they make in their debates, because that's not true. That's not true, but that's the first mistake. I already know that going into the debate. That's the lack of critical thinking. So let's move from there. Okay. Better people are going to leave the ecosystem. Now, here comes the critical thinking. People, let's walk it through. People leave the ecosystem. That weakens the ecosystem. Okay. The ecosystem then gets to the point where the first-party developers are looking elsewhere to put their software, their games. The natural ending of this critical thinking is what? They'll come to Xbox. Now, the way critical thinking works. Porter Rock does, shout out to Porter Rock. This is why I would never debate him. Porter Rock takes what I just did and he deploys it on them, and they don't know what's hitting them. And it's because they've said contradictory statements of themselves. Porto's point yesterday about how Microsoft guys, if you want to call them that, were running around the internet in 2014 talking about Xbox has more AAA games than Sony does. But that narrative changed in 2015 when Sony decimated Microsoft with exclusive games. And shout out to Yang Yi. If you don't believe me, that's fine. You can go to his YouTube page, Yang, and he had a very good video about this. And he ain't no fanboy on the BS. He just broke everything down. This was about a month ago, but it's in his library. Okay. So you don't think the PlayStation guy or girl don't remember you all saying that? Okay, but the lack of critical thinking has put you in a situation where now you're going to be debating somebody who remembers you saying this stuff. And then all of a sudden you wet your pants. All right. And that's what's happening. And it's getting worse. I mean, they're literally getting their pants pulled down and they're wetting their pants. And it's no fun for nobody. There's nothing to debate. Okay. When you're in a debate, when you're in that type of situation, you're in an either or. They're trying to operate in a nor or gray area. It's just a lack of critical thinking. And because there's a major lack of critical thinking within the 5% of the Xbox community, it's led, okay, it's led to them making statements like the 4K textures are going to do this, this, and this. Well, anybody who understands what 4K textures are going to do knows that already. Okay, everybody knows that. But see, lack of your critical thinking, I said what to Widowmaker? You're going to show me a statement where Sony said they were going to put 4K textures on their little 4.2 console, 4.2 T-Flop console. And I'm telling you right now, he will never find that statement because Sony never said that, okay? Here in the description where it says pro design, not 4K native. Again, this is from Engadget.com. Okay, this is not made up. So you guys can go read this where they clearly say they, as Mark Cerny and his design team said, they never set out to do 4K native. So the fact that the Xbox community, again, the 5%ers, think that they can just come out and say, yeah, we've got more 4K native games. Well, I would expect you to, because the PlayStation doesn't, the PlayStation never set out to do that. Sony never intended to do that. They have clearly stated they'll look to do something like that with their next project that we all know they're starting to work on. Okay? Now, so, and that is legit. That's, now if you want to compare the two systems, if you want to compare the enhanced game list, because they both were designed to do enhanced games, that's a reality. Okay. That's a reality. All right. So now we know, and I said this earlier in the podcast, I said this on Twitter, PlayStation has more enhanced games, but that's expected to. So if you're an Xbox guy and the Sony guy says, yeah, PlayStation has more enhanced games than Microsoft, the critical thinking response is, of course it does. It's been out for a year. So it should. And that's the thing. Now I'm looking at, shout out to Stephen King, 5 guys yelling at Porter Rock 77 because they're not critical thinkers. That's why that's happening. Okay? That's why it's happening. Porter Rock is a critical thinker. Fonz is a critical thinker. Randall Thor is a critical thinker. Okay? I'm a critical thinker. Okay. What you call it? My boy, shout out to J-Dub City. Critical thinker. Okay. So it's no disrespect to anybody, but if you lack critical thinking, you're going to get destroyed. There's nothing. Yeah. Who was debating? It doesn't matter who was debating because there's no more debates. You know, there's no more debates. If it was on Next Gen's channel, just go to Next Gen 720's channel, and it should be one of the last videos. I mean, I didn't know he was debating. So, but my point is that's why this is happening. Okay, is that they don't have any critical thinking within that community. They're trying to sell the console to themselves. Lack of critical thinking. They get online, they sing and dance for Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't send them anything free. They again criticize, all right? So, and they criticize the people that are getting it. Okay, well, Microsoft, that's lack of critical thinking. Why would Microsoft send somebody who's already up their ass anything free when they know you're going to go buy it? All right, these are the same guys who were like, you know what? $500 is okay for a brand new console. It's not. Okay, no, it's just not. The lack of critical thinking. Okay, that's why I said what? I said the fact that they've added value to the system by being able to go back and adding some 360 games in 4K. All right, thanks for the link there, Spartan Guy. In 4K, that adds value. That's critical thinking, okay? Now, the other people are just going to run out and buy it, and that's fine too. But that's not for everybody. Again, the lack of critical thinking has led them to believe that everybody wants to play games online. Critical thinking. Most of the world does not play their video games online. That's a fact. You can look that up. It's because most of the world has shoddy internet. Yes, the westernized nations, NATO has good internet, okay? Has a good sound electric grid. Most of the world does not. And if you don't believe me, take a look at what that hurricane did to Puerto Rico. Okay? If you don't believe me, take a look. Now that is a nation in our hemisphere with a shoddy grid. Okay? And you know, that's the point. So what do those people do who want to play games down there? Well, most of them have PlayStations. Why? Because you don't need to be online to play on the PlayStation. It enhances it a little bit, but Microsoft still makes that an intuitive thing to do. And if you get into the Xbox ecosystem, you're not going to get games source queued to you the way Sony and Nintendo do. Okay? Spider-Man's coming out early. We already know Days Gone is going to be out there. Okay? So we know these things. Okay? Community's gotten to a point where they've emailed Sony to stop putting games out like this because they can't afford them all. You know, I just saw somebody said yesterday that they had spent over 120 hours playing Persona 5. I mean, that's a long time, you know, and that's offline. Okay, I don't think Persona 5 is an online game. So yeah, it's bad, man. You know, so what has happened to the Xbox community is that Xbox can't beat Sony. We just saw what Sony's doing. So their community, parts of their community, let me make that clear, have been literally going around trying to you have 100 hours on Persona 5. Wow. You've got people running around now trying to go after the people who prefer play on PlayStation because what else do they have? Okay? What else do they have? I mean, it's not about anything else anymore but that. Okay? So, yeah, port begging for Spider-Man is yeah, again, that's you need to lack of critical thinking has led them to port beg for Spider-Man. Not understanding that Sony actually owns the IP Spider-Man. They own everything about Spider-Man. They own Venom. They own Green Goblin. They own all that. Is all Spider-Man. Now it's all now being incorporated with Marvel, which is part of Disney. But Microsoft, don't they have a Disney game coming out? So, 130 hours on Neo and 120 hours on Horizon. Wow. Well, see that right there? That's what, that's 350. That's 350 hours of not playing online. And again, that's my point. Okay, Nier Automata. I mean, I don't think you have to be online to do things on Nier Automata. So MLB The Show. All these are offline games. You don't need to play. I knew they were begging for MLB The Show and Horizon, but I didn't know about Spider-Man. That doesn't surprise me, though. So, but the fact that they've been put in that position thinking, well, Xbox should have these games. Remember what Gamers United said. What he said. People bought Xbox thinking they were going to get games like that. So, yeah, Spider-Man is looking good, but for me, it's Detroit Become Human. But I've been talking Detroit Become Human all year long. You know that already. But both of them, I hope deliver. Both of them, I hope deliver. I mean, it's like I said. Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man probably won't need any type of online interaction. I don't know about Days Gone. I don't know about God of War. But the old God of Wars, I don't think you needed to be online. So. So, yeah. It's bad. So, yeah. Well, Andrew, that's my point, is that, okay, you say he misquoted him. He misquoted himself. So, yeah. Now, ultimately, Xbox S won a few months, and then it went back to losing. That's the truth. Again, that's it's lack of critical thinking. They're being destroyed. I mean, they're about to be destroyed again. So, I mean, I can't imagine, and I don't. I've said this before. I expect Xbox to win NPD because it's a new console. New hardware should always trump older hardware. So, but with that said, what DLC from Sony? But yeah, that's, guys, I mean, when you have a lack of critical thinking, you're going to have idiots, who run around and say stuff like that. They're trying to convince themselves to buy the console. Okay? They don't which they don't have to, because they're going to buy the console anyway. So the reason it sold well, I mean, it doesn't matter why it sold well. It sold well for a little bit. Now people aren't buying it as much. Now I think they'll sell more in a few weeks on Black Friday. So yeah, it's sold well. That's fine. I think that's good. It sold well. You all got to stop trying to look at it as a either or. You can get all of them. Oh, Kratos' son does do that. You see, I'm playing that. When I play Hellblade, those voices will do that too. So UHD player, yeah, and unfortunately, UHD movies just aren't selling well. It's just, and maybe that'll change. Okay, we're in the month where we're going to see if there's going to be a change. We'll know in 6 weeks if UHD movies actually sold well. So, yeah, I know you're not knocking it. Yeah. So yeah. Well, of course, it's going to be all 5 of them trying to gang up on Porter Rock. But, I mean, Porter Rock can hold his own. So I didn't listen to it. I don't need to listen to it. So people are sending it to me now. Yeah, Hellblade so far, one of the better games I played. Still the best game I played this year so far is Life is Strange. And I can't believe I still can't believe I missed out on that in 2015. So damn, it's a good game. So oh, your AC unit died? Damn. So Spider-Man port begging in comment section. So Hellblazer game of the year. Okay. Well, the year's not over yet, but all right. So yeah, I mean, I can't blame you for voting for it as far as well, damn, it can't even be considered. Well, I guess it could be, yeah. Well, it came out in August, right? Or not. So UHD movies are overpriced. Yeah, that's why you got to get them in that first 3 days. You might be able to find it for $22. Might. So, well, UHD gets a better picture than Netflix. So, but people don't want to spend money because the economy isn't as strong as it was. Well, I mean, again, Netflix is losing money. So, Spider-Man's port begging on YouTube, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Spider-Man is the biggest selling comic book character on planet Earth. I mean, he sells more than everybody else combined. So, you know. So yeah. The entire game of Life is Strange is on sale for $5. Where? I mean, I bought all the episodes for $19. So may not have any replay value. Yes, so far it's been very visceral. So it's on PSN. Okay. Well, see, I've got it on my Xbox. So you like UHD but prefer physical media. Yeah, and there's some things that well, hell, what's the name of it? House of Cards. That's going off the air next year. They canceled the last 2 seasons. So, well, I think Halo Storm are talking about as far as streaming stuff. Yeah, Netflix and Hulu. Yeah, that's all good stuff. The MVU, I don't know. He may have. So, and Netflix is the shit if you like streaming. So you gotta understand. You gotta preface the comment there, Halo Storm. Uh, 4K HDR. Yeah, see, I'm activating Netflix in a few hours, actually. Literally. So, because we're going to watch Stranger Things. No, I will say when I've turned on my Xbox, everybody's doing HBO Go, Cycle Gamer, and Netflix. Which, I mean, look, if you're, I don't understand why you would buy a smart TV, use Netflix on a device like that. Why not just use it off your TV? But that's, I mean, again, if that's what you want to do, it's your time, it's your money. It's just, to me, it's crazy. So yeah, but again, there's a lack of critical thinking. Yeah, I know you're not Cycle Gamer, but there's a lack of critical thinking within parts of the Xbox community, and that's what's led them to where they are. That's why I guess you all said it was a debate, but then somebody said it was 1 against 5. I mean, they don't know how to debate by themselves. I mean, once you get them by themselves, they get eaten alive. They get eaten alive. So, you know, it's and it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. But that's not about it's about the way they don't have a critical thinking mindset. So Cody, cool. All right. Well, yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with using any of it. You watch Netflix on your TV, yeah. Yeah, I'm about to activate mine, so I can understand that. So, but yeah, but guys, look, I've been on here, and I do apologize for being late, but I was wrangling with my bank, literally wrangling with the bank. But yeah, but I'm gonna get on off here and check out what's going on today. So we're gonna do Netflix and watch Stranger Things here, at least first couple episodes. And yeah, Pornhub, yeah, now you're talking. So Netflix Station 4. Yeah. Well, again, I don't use mine for that, but if that's what you use it for, that's what you use it for. So it was a regular podcast, but the X-Tars turned it into a debate. I don't know why they're debating. I mean, you have quantified data and you have qualified data. You have clear qualified data on what's doing what, where, and why. So Yeah, I loved Stranger Things, the original. I like the one last season, so hopefully this is good. You know, hopefully this works out good. So I'm excited. So, you know, it is. So Gotham and are also good. I see now Gotham. I've heard mixed reviews on. I've heard mixed reviews. So, but yeah, if you say it's good, that's cool. Yeah, Stranger Things. I have heard that. The PlayStation Bra, he said that was it. So, yeah, Savage Juger, you got to understand that a first party, well, you know, look, a first party Sony game is going to look better than a third party. Yeah, I did not see suit textures on Spider-Man and stuff like that. But here's the thing, that comes from Digital Foundry. And again, this is why I can't debate these guys. I would crush them and say, look, you idiots were saying Digital Foundry was not credible just 6 months ago. Now all of a sudden you're ready to give them fellatio. Yeah, first party games, Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah. And again, their lack of critical thinking has led them to believe wants to play multi-plat games. And it's not true. It's just not true. So, but we'll find out here in a few weeks. In mid-December, Xbox crushes both Sony and fire and Nintendo, and can keep doing it for the next 4 to 7 months. Obviously, those guys were correct. If it can only do it for 1 month, and I expect 1 month, it's new hardware. If I expect that, you know, if it doesn't, guys will not get away. I mean, it'll be bad for them. So, you know, it looks like shit on every platform but the X. Yeah, I mean, again, Crackdown, and again, Crackdown is still not out yet. Still not out yet. Yeah, I know. Microsoft's made a lot of mistakes. Of course they do. Again, they don't have any critical thinking. You got to understand the lack of critical thinking is why they are where they are. So why do you think they do a circle jerk off every friggin' week? So the texture quality, what game are you talking about? No suit for you. Next. You know what? Another one, 810p gate. There you go. 810p gate. Somebody put that in the chat. Yeah, 810p. So, but yeah, all right, guys, it's 120. All right, guys, look, first things first. Sorry I was late. I was literally, like I said, wrestling with the bank. But I got to bounce out of here like a bad check. So, yeah, 810p gate. There you go. That, to me, is just, that's what, you know, I wouldn't say anything else about it. If you see soup, you just type in hashtag 810p gate. So, and let that sink in. So, it's pretty bad. So, but all right then, guys, a big shout out to Anthony Speed again for the donation on the Hellblade stream. Shout out to you guys who watched last night, and shout out to Mark Camacho again for the help. So, you know, it's shout out to, you know, to all you guys who watched. Like I said, that's real frustration when I'm in that game. That is not anything else but real frustration. So, but yeah, you all are in there and said, yeah, no problem, guys. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to One Stop for coming by again. One Stop is going to have a debate on his channel. I got to check that shit out. Halo 5 is 810p. No, Wolfenstein is 810p. So they ain't getting away with that. So I'm going to shoot that back at another Xbox gamer. So I'm going to say next Xbox gamer, I'm going to put this on Twitter. Next Xbox person that says anything about 4K textures, can you explain to me why you know, why Wolfenstein 2 is 810p on Xbox One S, sir? If you can't, shut up. That's what I'm going to say. So, you know, yeah, checkerboard suit. Yeah. Halo is 810p. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, no wonder you all talking about 4K textures now. All right, well, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Like I said, enjoy the games. Good news for everybody here. work tomorrow night, so I will be sleeping pretty much all day tomorrow. So, guys, thanks for coming by. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Appreciate you hanging out. So, it's gonna get cold and rainy, but it's supposed to get up in the 60s, and I'll be tailgating this weekend. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, PUBG is be out in December. Spider-Man was actually on the Pro. Comic book and gamers, we source information totally differently than each other. It's no big deal. Xbox direction is to be service-based, and that is causing angst in the Xbox community. And I guess they're port begging. And if you want to play Metal Gear 5, again, it's 1440p 60 on the Pro. All right, but that's about it, guys. Enjoy the games. Hopefully you all are having better weather than we are. Game 7 tonight, World Series. We're going to see who wins that. Guys, and remember, if you go out tonight, wear white. Take it easy. Peace.